Hey everybody, we're back for the second half of interviewing the candidates here, and we have a candidate for probate judge. His name is Lee Loader. How you doing?
Doing fine. How you doing, my friend?
Pretty good. So tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Hey, I'm Lee Loader, and I want to be your probate judge. I've been practicing law here for 30 years. Most people know me from my city council stint as city council president, the youngest city council president. But I tell you, like I said, everything else, that's not why I'm asking for your vote. I'm asking for your vote because of the unique perspective that I have on this probate judge position. And one of them relates to probate's oversight over mental health commitments and my passion for making sure that we have affordable and quality mental health care for everybody in this community.
So can you expound on why you're running for this office?
Well, that's one of the main reasons. I've been a municipal court judge for the last 6 years, and I've been on the front lines of seeing where since the 70s and 80s when they started the super predator myth, and they started saying instead of providing health care and services for young people, especially people of color, that they were going to start jailing. So I'm overseeing a jail that functionally has turned into a mental health institution, but doesn't have the resources to care for those people. Since probate court has oversight over mental health commitments, the judge can be a leader and a voice in getting more beds, more services for our aunties, our uncles, our cousins, and all those folks who are not criminals, but human beings.
So if elected, what's some of the things you would be bringing to the table that would make your position more effective?
Well, I talked about one in the forum today. One of them is, unfortunately, the probate court is one court where you can get nickel and dime to death. I got a client who all she was trying to do was get mama's house to the children, but she was having to pay cost for everything that we find. I hope as probate judge that we can do like most of the other courts. Let folks know up front how much it's going to cost for them to handle this particular matter. And that'll ease the effect of them working to try to make sure the stuff that mom and daddy work for gets to who it belongs to.
One of the most important things that was brought up was several situations was brought up in involving our elderly neighbors in probate. My organization, Voters Legal Justice Watch Group, we have been investigating cases of elder abuse in the court system.
Right.
And right now I'm involved in a particular case that's ongoing to where we have a gentleman that tried to swindle an inheritance from someone by going into a marriage, and they used a notary to do it. Fortunately, my name was being used as that particular notary. But because the case is ongoing, that's as far as I can, go. If you ever ran into a situation like that, how would you handle such a case?
Well, that's an important issue, and I've helped some of those elderly folks. They're the most vulnerable, and the court has to be a place that protects those individuals. First way is you got to put competent people as guardian ad litem. Their job is to protect the interest of an elderly person, and to report back to the court. But it's not just private individuals that are preying on the elderly. One of the most important cases that I handle involved the tax assessor and the tax, which most of it's been corrected, not allowing elderly people to get the exemption on the homes that they've been living for and putting their homes in jeopardy of being sold for taxes. And we fought this case on behalf of this young lady who they had sold her property for taxes. We were able to get her house back, and we were able to get the tax assessor. The new tax assessor now has increased awareness and education to make sure that those exemptions are provided to the most vulnerable in our community, and that's senior citizens.
So whether you're elected or not, are you willing to be an advocate and fight for justice for our elderly?
No doubt. I mean, a lot of people wonder what I've been doing for the last 15 years. We planted a school. We do preschool education. I planted a church. We have a volunteer organization, and we put together health and beauty aids that we provide to the Veterans Association next door to our community. So I've been out there, and then from a litigation standpoint, I represent a lot of elderly people and handle matters that protect their interests. I'll give you another example. Anybody who's dealt with foreclosures knows that in order for them to foreclose, they have to send you the certified mail notice. Well, I represented a family that they didn't send this notice to. They were going to try to cut corners. And I handled a bankruptcy case that has become a case that they rely on nationally to make sure that before they foreclose on your house, they send you those notices so you're aware and have the opportunity to correct those matters. So those are things I've been doing just in the community and as a lawyer and as an advocate, and I'll continue to do whether or not I'm elected.
Okay, so we got two more questions. First question is, how can people get in contact with you if they want to know more about you and your campaign?
Sure. LeeLoader.com is my website, LeeLoader.com, LeeLoder.com, and my the email address is info at LeeLoader.com, and so either way they can get in contact with me, and the contact information is at the website. You can call 205-326-0566, which is my law office number, if you want any more information.
And what is your appeal to the voters?
My appeal to the voters is this is an opportunity, this probate court position. A lot of parts of the state, you don't even have to be a lawyer to be a probate judge. It's been recognized as a leadership position. And we need to send somebody down there who understands how important the election, the chief election official is, especially in the day and time of Trump and the state of Alabama, who are trying to pass legislation to make it harder for people to vote. We need a voice down there that is sensible and says, we want to make it easier for people to be involved in public government. And that's my appeal. Make sure you send somebody down there who understands that. I'm a candidate that understands it, and I'm passionate about it. And I look forward to serving the community in that way.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Lee Loader, candidate for probate judge, place one. I want to thank you so much for tuning in and being a part of this. Thank you so much. And we have some other candidates that are here. We have Everett West, who's also a candidate for Jefferson County probate judge. We also have Julie Travis, who is also running for place one probate judge for Jefferson County. This is in Alabama. And we have an election that's coming up on March the 5th. That's not too I believe it's next Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, is the primary election. So we're going to wait a little bit and see if we have anyone else over here. I see that some candidates are talking to voters right now, so we'll wait a few minutes and see if they can come and do a quick interview real quick. Josh, can you get Miss Travis? Yeah. We just give them an opportunity to talk to some voters, and and I will give my commentary on the forum. So a lot of good questions was asked. So a lot had to do with how they would be. What would they do if they're in office? Some things about integrity came up, community engagement has come up, and things of that nature. Okay, so we have another candidate here who is running for probate judge. This is Joy Travis.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Okay, so tell everybody who you are, what you do.
Okay, sure. I am attorney Joy Travis. I'm the owner and operator of Travis Law LLC. Travis Law handles matters that deal with families, such as probate, criminal, and family law. We service residents that are in Jefferson County, Shelby County, and Montgomery County right now. But of course, we have been able to help clients all across the state. I am a motivator, an educator, and a community servant.
Why did you decide to run for this particular office?
I decided to run for this particular office because this office is unique. A judgeship is one that interprets the law and rules on the law. But this opportunity doesn't just deal with judicial matters. This opportunity deals with voting in elections in our county. I have been a proponent of voter education and voter registration for over 20 years, and I have seen instances where there are efforts to suppress and disenfranchise voters. And I believe that I have to be an advocate and be able to help our communities to be engaged in our election system, to speak out, to advocate, and make sure that our elections are fair, honest, and we maintain the integrity of the vote. That is something I've been working with as far as voting systems for a very long time, as well as my passion for working with families that come in interaction with probate court, whether it be mental health commitments or estates. We meet people at their most vulnerable times and their happiest times. And my service background, as well as my passion for people, best prepares me for this opportunity.
There's been a lot of talk about, I think it's SB1, that makes it harder for people to vote in Montgomery. What are your thoughts on that, and what can you do in your capacity to make sure that everyone will be able to exercise their right to vote?
That's a very good point. In addition to SB1, there are about 7 or 8 other House or Senate bills that have been introduced that basically touch on the aspects of voting in elections on our county and across the state. As a probate judge, I will be able to speak about what our voters face. The challenges, the successes, whether it's giving testimony or whether it's being able to advocate for those opportunities so that people are not disenfranchised and we don't suppress the vote. I think also the biggest thing is being able to empower, educate by giving notice in advance and help our communities have a plan for what voting looks like. Advertisement around voting, but making sure our legislators understand those challenges that they may not know may occur in some of our communities that they might not engage with. So being able to communicate what those challenges look like for all voters, so everyone understands that we need to maintain a level playing field for voting for every resident in Jefferson County.
In your campaign, you mentioned the slogan "Trust Travis."
Right, trust in Travis. Yes,
trust in Travis.
Yes.
So, what is that about?
So Trust in Travis is something that I started when I became an attorney. The reputation I have with most clients, many friends and family members, is that they trust me. They trust that I'm going to do what I say. They trust that I'm going to follow through on what needs to be done. They trust that I'm going to give them proper education so they can make the best decisions. And so what I'm asking our Jefferson County residents to do is to trust me and allow me to represent you. Trust that I'm going to be the person that will advocate for all residents. Trust that I will be the person that understands the challenges and successes that all voters face. Trust that I'm going to make sure I do a review and overview of what happens at probate court and how we can make it better if it needs to be better. Trust that I'm going to be ethical. Trust that I'm going to be efficient. Trust that I'm the best person to represent our county for that position. And allow me and my reputation to speak for itself. And trust that I'll be the best choice for Jefferson County probate judge.
Now, how people will be able to find you if they want to know more about you and your campaign?
Thank you for asking. So Trust in Travis is also my website, trustintravis.com. Trust in Travis is my social media handles. My law firm is Travis Law. You can Google my law firm, or it's travislawllc.com. But right now, the best avenue to see me or to reach me is seeing me in the community, which most people do, or visiting my website and sending a comment to me so that we can communicate and understand what your question is and what you would like to see our probate judge do or be for all Jefferson County residents.
So this is the final week before the primary.
Yes.
Which is on Tuesday.
Yes, it is.
What would you like to say to the voters?
I am asking the voters to bring joy to the probate court. Trust in Travis and allow me to represent you. I've been doing the community service work for a very long time. It will continue after March 5th. Allow me to be that person that represents our county as the next Jefferson County probate judge, place one. Trust in Travis.
I want to certainly thank you for taking the time to sit here for this interview. And this is our continuing coverage of the primaries, which is on May the 5th. And once we have the nominations set for November, we will continue our coverage for them. So I want to thank you for taking time out to do this committee interview.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Joy Travis, running for probate court judge for place number 1.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we're going to wrap it up here. I want to thank everyone who came out to listen and to support this podcast. We will continue to engage in the community in terms of the elections and the candidates, as well as the voters. So we will have a preview of what is to come on March the 4th. That's a Monday. So be sure to tune in for that, where we go over all of the candidates that are running, so that you'll be able to decide who you want to vote for. So until then, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for the opportunity. Good seeing you.